Good morning, children. So let's discuss talking about the text. The first is you have to discuss, rather, you have to write down all these questions in your notebooks. The first is the sensitive behavior of hill folk who live a different kind lifestyle than people who live in urban areas. The life of the people on hills is in many ways different from those who live in urban areas. The life is very hard on the hills. On the high hills, there is not much vegetation, as is the case of Hor and Darchan. The main occupation of the people on the hills is tending their flocks. The sheep and goats supply their demands for food and clothes. The life on the hills is comparatively lonely. It will, however, be wrong to suggest that these people are more miserable or sorrowful. It is human nature to adopt itself according to the circumstances. These people seem to be happy even in their hard life. They are very sensitive people and are always willing to help others. Thus, the poor Lamo gave the author a long sleeved sheepskin coat when she found that he did not have enough warm clothing for the cold of the high mountains. So, the behavior of the hill folk is very different from the people who live in urban area. From this example, it is clear, this thing. Now, the second one, the reasons why people willingly undergo the travails of difficult journeys. Many people willingly undergo the travails of difficult journeys. The people who would overdo it mainly for their love of adventure. In India, such journeys are generally taken for some religious purpose. The desire to do something unusual makes many young men take these journeys across the globe. It has been so since times immemorial. That was how many hidden parts of the earth were discovered. Again, that was how new routes from one country to the other were discovered. Means if the people, they are not willing to do something new, then these new discoveries will not be possible. So in India, some of the pilgrim centers are located at places where it is not easy to reach. Yet people go to them in large numbers because doing so is considered a religious act. Now the third one, the accounts of exotic places in legends and books and reality. Exotic is, it's very splendid or awesome, and legends, famous historical stories. So the accounts of exotic place in legends and books and the reality are often very different. It is so for more than one reason. First, we differ in our sensibilities. In other words, we can say that everyone doesn't have the same capacity for intellectual and aesthetic discrimination. And as a result of this, a scene of Mansarovar may create different responses in different minds. For the Devyot Hindus and Buddhists, the beauty of the place is beyond description. The second point is equally important. When a writer writes about a place, he tries to paint a word picture, and the pictures are always more interesting than the reality. Most of the people who have visited America are no doubt impressed by it. However, they are often found saying that they didn't see as wonderful a country as the stories had described to them. Legends always exaggerate. Very often, they add magical quality to a place of religious importance. Naturally, these things are far from reality. So, the accounts of exotic places in legends and books are not the same as reality. Now, thinking about the language, children, this you will do yourself. Try it out. You can do first and second questions at least. The third one, it is guess the meaning of the following. This one also I hope you can do. Simply have to write down the meanings. Like Kora, it is to go around or to revolve. Drobka, it is a Tibetan long coat. And Kyang are wild ass. And these are used in Tibetan language. Now working with words, this also, children, you can do. The second one I'll explain. The first one, it is simply you have to write down the phrases which describe the scenic beauty. So one is given to you. Some you can write yourself. Like one I can tell you, vast open plains with nothing in them except a few gazelles. Or the plateau is pockmarked with salt flats and brackish lakes. So these are certain phrases in the chapter which describe the scenic beauty. So some more you can write yourself. Find from the text and write down yourself. And now the second one is explain the use of the adjectives in the following phrases. Shaggy monsters. Shaggy is the adjective here, and shaggy it means with large untidy hair. Brackish lakes. Brackish means saltish or briny. Then third is rickety table. Rickety means very old and weak. Then hairpin bend. Hairpin as an adjective means very narrow and sharp. And rudimentary general source. Rudimentary in this context means things of basic needs. So the chapter is complete now. The part which you have to do yourself, try it out and do it. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Tomorrow we will start the next chapter, and that is the last chapter of our syllabus. I hope it's clear to you. Have a good day.